Hello everyone, and you see the title of the video to not get your hopes up as Charlotte Hornets fans, and this video from our GM is proof of that.
Well, we'll be active because we have some financial flexibility. That doesn't mean we'll be able to get a player if we choose to pursue a player, but we have the ability to do that. We don't control the destiny of Cody Zeller and Biz.
First of all, technically we do control the destiny of Cody Zeller and Bismack Biyombo, because if we don't re-sign Cody Zeller, I'm not sure if he has another contract in the NBA. I'm just going to be honest. I don't anything less than anything more than the minimum. I don't think a team signs him for. I think that's just the reality of it. So for Cody Zeller, I think we do control the destiny of him, because I think we're the only team that really wants him, and the only reason we want him is that he has shown loyalty. And this is his first time as a true free agent in, 8 years as being a Charlotte Hornet. He's one of the longest tenured players in Charlotte Hornet history, which is crazy to say. So for him, we do control the destiny first. And for Bismack, I could see some teams being interested in him. For a short list, I could see the Warriors as a backup center role, just to show James Wiseman something. So for that remark, we do control that destiny.
So that is an area that may need to be addressed.
I hate how he says we may need to address it. Like it isn't our biggest problem. Like, although our defense, our bench pieces are a big problem for us, I would say the center position, every single Hornets fan knows that we need to address it. It's not we may need to address it. It's we need to address it, whether it's draft pick, whether it's improving our G Leaguers, our G League centers like Nick Richards and Vernon Carey Jr., or whether it's a free agent. We have to. It's not a matter of we may address it. I hate how he uses that phrasing.
We do have two young players that did not play much this year, and you did not see them play much, except maybe if you watched the G League a little bit, and that would be Nick Richards and Vern Carey.
I hate how he is trying to rely on it's okay to rely a little bit on the G League centers to develop, but I wouldn't rely too much on Vernon Carey Jr. and Nick Richards. Nick Richards barely got any time this year, and he was a higher draft pick than I think Vernon Carey was. And Nick Richards was better in the G League than Vernon Carey. Vernon Carey had one good game. He played 4 minutes the next game after his 21-point game or whatever it was, and then he barely played any else. So I wouldn't put the hope as a GM. If I was the GM of the Hornets, why would I put so much hope on people that haven't shown great potential? Vernon Carey Jr. had one good game against Brooklyn, and that was it, because Brooklyn doesn't have a center themselves. So I wouldn't put that much hope on our G Leaguers, and I think that's not asking for a lot.
So to say that that's going to be our center core next year, yeah, that's a stretch.
Okay, there's a little bit of hope right there that he realizes that you can't have G Leaguers as a starting center and then a backup center.
Okay, but we will be monitoring, their progress. The draft is not until the end of July, and free agency is not until in the beginning of August. So that's another area that we could, look to and monitor for the next 2.5 months.
All right, he ends it off by giving a little bit of hope, where we have time to make a decision. And the thing I hated the most out of this whole day was seeing that one of our targets in free agency was Daniel Tice, a 6'8", pretty one-dimensional center. Sometimes he can hit the three, most of the times he can't. And for that to be our big trade target, or not our big free agent signing, is just disappointing. And it really shouldn't be disappointing, and I made this video to really show that, to not get your hopes up, and to not think that we're going to make a blockbuster deal, and to not think that we are going to make all these good free agent signings, because that's not the Hornets organization. You can go throughout the years of our greatest free agent signings ever. We have, Marvin Williams in 2014. We have Al Jefferson, who was an all-star for us. But other than those two, for the 21st century, there hasn't been much. You got Bismack Biyombo we signed in free agency. You got Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, but those were like sign and trades, like those weren't true free agent signings. So I'm not confident in the Hornets organization, and the videos that I'm going to put out later this week and close to the offseason, is going to be kind of focused like towards the realization that we are not going to make these big free agent moves, and I want to just ground everybody that watches my videos to not get disappointed that when I say it's a great signing if we sign Rashard Holmes, to not be like, oh, but we could have got Miles Turner in a sign, because we're not going to get Miles Turner. And I've wanted us to make that deal or make another deal. A person I'm thinking about is Jalen Brunson as a backup point guard. I think that'd just be a perfect sign and trade. Maybe we sign and trade Devontae Graham, as maybe the Mavericks want more scoring off the bench, and we can get back a defensive-minded floor general as a backup point guard. But even that deal, I'm hesitant about, and that's two like pretty much role players. So I just want to make my audience, make my people that watch my videos realize that to not get your hopes up for this offseason and for off seasons to come. And I think the likelihood of us staying complacent is way more likely than us making a big free agent signing. So that's going to be it for me. If you like these videos, subscribe, like, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys later.